Hey everyone, my name is Elijah, and I'm really excited we get to walk through this together today. We'll be talking about savings and emergency funds. They are such good tools to be financially resilient and sustainable for yourself. This isn't just another budgeting class or a finance lecture. This is about your first line of defense, your personal shield against stress, surprise, and financial instability. Now, like I said, the topic, savings and emergency funds. Now, I know when some people hear that, their brain kind of checks out. It feels boring or intimidating or maybe even out of reach. But what we're going to do today is make this simple, practical, and personal. Because here's the truth, and we need to be honest about money because sometimes money isn't honest about us. So the truth is, money doesn't always buy happiness, but savings can help you buy peace of mind. That peace, that ability to breathe when life throws you a curveball, that is what we're going to chase today. That is what we're going to try and understand deeper and build. This whole slide deck is about feeling safe even when your car breaks down, or knowing you can still buy groceries if your hours at work get cut, or not panicking if your laptop breaks, your kids get sick, or your job suddenly just vanishes. This is about being ready for the unexpected without falling apart. And by the end of this session, I want you to walk away, not just feeling informed or like you took in a whole bunch of information, but I want you to feel empowered with real tools, goals, and habits that you can start building today. So I'm super excited to get into this. I'm so thankful to spend this time with you, and I hope that you learn so much from this and go away feeling motivated and feeling rather good about your future and any emergencies that come. So before we get fully diving deep into all of these things, I do want to give you a bit of an agenda. Now, maybe you should write these 5 things down on a piece of paper because later, after you have all the information, these 5 topics, just these headings right here that you see on the screen, will be important, and maybe you can come back and reflect on them aside from all the information that you're about to learn. Because these are all good things to know and good things to ask yourself when trying to think about savings and your emergency fund. So without further ado, here's a quick roadmap for where we are going today. We've broken this down into these 5 key parts, and each one builds onto the next. So we start by answering the question, what exactly is an emergency fund? So we're dealing with the definition of it. Not just in theory, but in real everyday life. We're going to look at examples that you or maybe someone you know has probably faced. Now, the second thing we're going to focus on is the purpose, what I call the P word. I love it. Purpose. You need purpose. And I will say this again. You'll hear me say it a few times. But this section is about why this matters so much. We'll walk through what happens if you don't have savings and how the stress of debt can snowball faster than most people realize. The third section that we're going to dive into is how much should I save? This is such a big question, and it's a constantly changing answer. And this is the number that everybody wants to know, right? So we'll break down how to calculate a savings goal that makes sense for your life, not someone else's. You don't have to save $10,000 right away. That is actually pretty unrealistic. You just need a plan that starts with you where you are. Now, the fourth thing that we'll dive into is how should I build savings? This is the whole section that is just about the how-to of all of this. We'll look at habits, we'll look at tech tools, we'll look at tips for staying motivated, and even what to do if you're starting with zero. Because starting small doesn't mean staying stuck. Now, the fifth thing on the agenda is very important. It is when do I spend my savings, and where do I spend my savings? This last part is all about having wisdom and fighting temptation. Where should you keep your emergency fund? When is it okay to use it? And how do you protect it from yourself? You are the biggest enemy to your own savings fund. Kind of funny, right? Each of these pieces adds to the big picture of building financial resilience. So, trust me when I say by the end of this, you'll not only understand emergency funds, but you'll be well equipped and you'll know exactly how to build one, how to use one, and most importantly, how to protect one. So sound good? Let's get started.